Thank you for tuning in to the weekly NSUSpartans.com football coaches show with NSU football coach Pete Adrian. And Coach, first time we sat down for one of these chats in a long time following a defeat. It was a really close ball game last week, 14-6 loss to Bethune-Cookman. Game came right down to the end. You had a first and goal there with a chance to perhaps tie in the final minute. Well, for you as a coach looking back on it, where do you think that game was won or lost? Obviously, could have gone either way.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's probably 7 or 8 different things you could say whether the game's won or lost. I mean, 2 plays before that, we had Reggie Garrett on the tunnel screen about the 11-yard line. He's got to walk into the end zone, and he fell down. I mean, there wasn't anybody tackling him. As simple as that. That's a play. Another play, we had Derek Demps behind everybody. We missed him about 8 inches on a long play. Defensively, we get pass interference on us, 3rd down and goal. I mean, so, just in a tight game like that, you can pick out a lot of different places where you say you could lost the game here or whatnot. But our kids played hard. We fought to the very end. We had a chance at the end to maybe tie it up and go into overtime, and that's all you can ask for. The kids competed very well. It's behind us now. We got to look ahead now to A&T.
Looking at the game from last week real quickly, Bethune-Cookman probably the first team all year that's had some success running the football on you. Is that something that you're kind of looking at in practice this week? Trying to maybe shore up a few of those things from last week.
Well, they had some success. We had some missed tackles. Their biggest play was we missed a tackle and went for about 50 yards. But that was their offense that they were trying to do to us at that side. And, they scored 2 touchdowns off of a team that's averaging 31 points a game. You can look at a lot of different ways. They punted 7 times and had 2 turnovers and a missed field goal off a turnover. So, it wasn't like they were in control. I think in the 3rd quarter, they scored on us on the first series, and I think they either had 3 or 4 3-and-outs right after that. So again, it's what you can take the stats and make it whatever it is. The bottom line is, and I've always said, is how many points did you score?
Right. Again, an uncharacteristic off night too for your offense. I know 5 sacks. Your offense all year long, that's been one of the strengths. Only 7 sacks allowed all season coming into the game, and 5 sacks allowed. It just seemed like it could never quite get in sync.
Well, the number 45 Jackson had a great game. He's one of the better players in the conference, and they moved him around left and right side wherever he was at, put a lot of pressure on you. And again, trying to get rid of the ball, and sometimes if you didn't get rid of the ball, we got sacked back here. But you got to give them credit; they played very well.
Now, I know one of the bright spots in the game for you, the kicking of Everett Goldberg. Special teams continues to be a real plus for you. Goldberg hit field goals of 47 and 50 yards to get MEAC Special Teams Player of the Week honors. In your wildest dreams, would you have imagined after 8 ball games your kickers would be combined 20 of 22 on field goals?
No, not really. And in fact, the 2 we missed were 47 and 50 or something like that. But yeah, they've done a great job all year, and I just hope that continues. It's certainly a weapon that I won't hesitate to use. And again, we know Goldberg is capable probably from 55 to 60 yards if there's any type of win at all behind his back. And again, if we got a chance to score, we're going to try to put points on the board.
Of course, he's now the only FCS player on the FCS kicker in the nation who has 3 field goals this year, 50 yards or longer. So he's certainly been as good as advertised. Thursday night, obviously, you knew after the game that the loss was not that damaging to your MEAC hopes, and it really was the start of kind of a topsy-turvy weekend in the MEAC as A&T was undefeated heading into last weekend. They lose to Howard. South Carolina State had 1 loss, loses to FAMU. So what are you kind of telling your team about sort of the volatility of this MEAC race and sort of where they stand heading into this final 3-game stretch?
Well, it just goes to show you that there's no easy game in the MEAC. We beat ourselves up quite a bit, as most conferences do, and you got to be ready to play, and we've got 3 left, and again, we still control our own destiny, and like A&T saying the same thing to their players. They control their own destiny if they can win out, and so it makes it exciting. I think we're going into the 9th week of the season, and we're still playing for the conference championship, and that's a big thing for us, and our kids are excited about it. And of course, homecoming, we expect a big crowd, and senior day for a great group of seniors who've won a lot of football games here. So emotionally, we'll be ready to go. We just got to go out and execute.
What do you see from this North Carolina A&T team on film? Obviously, they're one of the surprises of the MEAC, 3-1 in the conference, and been playing very steady under first-year coach Rod Broadway.
Well, they're trying to run the ball at you. The tailback is one of the best tailbacks in the conference, an all-conference kid. He's very durable. Reminds me a lot of D'Angelo Branch, same type of runner. He can cut and break on it. He's probably not going to go all the way. but you know, he's going to pound it. He's capable of carrying the ball 25, 35 times a game. And that's what they try to do, and then they try to hit you with some play action pass off of it. The defense has been a good defense for them so far. A lot of gap control, try to bring some pressure on you, and it's just a question to see whether or not how they match up against us.
All right, you mentioned Saturday homecoming. It's also your last home game of the season, senior day for 20 seniors on your football team. The group, by my count, has 26 wins over the last 4 years, 3 straight winning seasons. Obviously, every group of seniors is special to you, and this group is no different, obviously, with the Corwin Hammonds, Kendall Nobles of the world, guys like that, Josh Turner, of course. How will you remember this group? What are some things that really stand out in your mind about this group of seniors?
Well, this group right here, I think about 17 of them are redshirt seniors, fifth-year kids, and it's probably our best recruiting class total overall. You know, not necessarily the best athletes, but when you go from 1 to 17, there's been a lot of all-conference players in there, a lot of 3-year starters in there, and you know, real special kids. And I'm hoping for them that we're able to finish this thing out, because it'd be a great way for those kids, because you know, they're the reason why we've turned this program around. They're the reason why we've had 3 winning seasons in a row, and hopefully, if finishes out, they'll finish with the most wins of any senior class in many, many years. I really don't know how many it is. It's probably close to 30 anyway.
All right, Coach, we wish you good luck this Saturday. Spartans 6-2 overall, 4-1 in the MEAC, heading into the final home game of the season against North Carolina A&T this Saturday. Again, it is homecoming, so please be sure to visit NSUSpartans.com for all the information on the football game, NSU.edu for all the other homecoming activities leading up to the game. And again, we'll catch you next week here on the NSUSpartans.com weekly football coaches show.